The dark truth about Vegas Matt. Las Vegas may shine with bright lights and endless jackpots, but behind that glitter is a story far less glamorous. And at the center of it is a man millions know simply as Vegas Matt. He's loud, confident, and quick with his catchphrases. Fans see him as fearless wagering, big, chasing wins, swallowing losses, and always turning every spin into a spectacle. But the truth? It isn't as simple as what shows up on screen. The bright lights of Las Vegas always promise excitement. But behind those flashing slot machines and giant casino floors, there are stories much darker than they seem. One of those stories belongs to a man known to millions as Vegas Matt. He is loud, confident, and always ready with his famous catchphrases. Viewers know him for his fearless gambling, his big wins, his even bigger losses, and his cheerful way of making every spin look like a show. But here's the twist. The man who became famous for pulling slot handles and betting thousands of dollars wasn't always this gambling superstar. Before the jackpots, the high roller suites, and the polished online persona, he was someone very different. Someone who, according to critics, made serious money outside casinos in an industry accused by regulators and watchdogs of preying on people's hopes. His real past, they say, isn't about luck, casinos, or spinning reels. It's about sales, recruiting, and multi-level marketing, better known as MLMs. This story peels back the shiny layers of Vegas Matt's public life to reveal the cracks underneath. It's a journey from alleged MLM riches to internet gambling fame, and it asks a question that keeps followers and critics both curious. Is Vegas Matt just a lucky gambler, or is he one of the greatest hustlers the internet has ever seen? When you see Vegas Matt walk into a casino, it's impossible not to notice him. He moves with energy, confidence, and a kind of swagger that makes him stand out. He wears his own branded shirts, sets up cameras like he's filming a movie, and talks loud enough to turn heads across the floor. Every spin of the reels becomes a moment, and every jackpot comes with a shout of, "Let's go!" that echoes like a battle cry. To his fans, he looks like the American dream in action. He's not a young hotshot, but an older guy with a big smile, a strong personality, and a bankroll big enough to make people wonder what secret he knows that they don't. His channel shows him risking thousands on slots, celebrating jackpots that reach 5 figures, and even laughing through losing streaks that would make most gamblers sick to their stomachs. The charm works. Huge audiences watch his content. They laugh, they cheer, and they feel like they're sitting next to him at the machine. He's more than just a gambler. He's an entertainer, and yet something about him has always felt a little too smooth. His catchphrases feel rehearsed, his confidence never wavers, and his bankroll seems endless. That's when whispers started. Maybe Vegas Matt wasn't what he seemed. Long before the cameras, say those same critics, his name was already known, but in a very different world. They claim he once played a big role in multi-level marketing companies, the kind of businesses that sell products while relying heavily on recruiting to make real money. To some, these sounded like exciting opportunities. Work from home, be your own boss, build financial freedom. But behind the flashy promises, regulators have, in various cases across the industry, alleged that some MLMs look more like pyramid schemes than real opportunities. Supporters of Vegas Matt argue he was just a skilled salesman. Detractors argue he sold dreams that rarely paid off for the people at the bottom. Depending on who you ask, a small group at the top made fortunes while most lost money. When high-profile enforcement actions hit corners of that industry, he faded from view, at least for a while. After that era, Vegas Matt resurfaced in the City of Lights with a brand new image. Gone was the salesman pitching supplements or side hustles. In his place stood the fearless slot player. The transition was almost too smooth, like watching a magician swap hats. This time, instead of selling products or financial freedom, he sold entertainment. Instead of promoting recruitment, he promoted jackpots. He has nodded to his past in interviews, framing it as sales, suggesting the industry is misunderstood. Supporters accept that. Critics call it a carefully cleaned-up version of history. Comment sections began connecting dots. Where did the bankroll come from? Was it ad revenue? Casino partnerships? Leftover profits from years ago? Nobody outside his inner circle can say. He smiles, changes the subject, or laughs it off. And the mystery keeps people watching. Despite the criticism, people keep watching for one simple reason. He's entertaining. He's bold. He laughs when most people would cry. He bets high, chases jackpots, and always has a phrase ready when the reels line up. But the strongest card he plays is family. When his son appears in the videos, everything feels real. The excitement, the frustration, the laughter. It becomes less about a gambler and more about a father and son sharing moments together. That dynamic softens the sharp edges of his controversial past. It makes viewers root for him, even if they know the whole story isn't as clean as it looks. Some suggest that family element is part of a savvy reinvention strategy. It makes him look trustworthy, approachable, and relatable even while risking 5 figures in a single sitting. One of the biggest questions around Vegas, Matt, is simple. Where does the money come from? Gambling at his level takes more than luck. He bets thousands per session, walks into high roller rooms, and bounces back even after brutal losing streaks. That isn't normal gambling. Theories abound. Casino sponsorships, legacy money, brand deals, merchandise, or a combination of all of the above. The truth is, nobody knows for sure, and that uncertainty is part of the show. There's also the double edge of influence. The danger isn't just his past. It's the behavior his videos can encourage. When people see him winning big, celebrating jackpots, or brushing off 5-figure losses, some start to believe they can do it too. But in reality, the casino always has the edge. The math wins eventually. For someone with a past tied, at least in the eyes of critics, to selling people dreams of easy money, this influence hits harder. Detractors argue that gambling content can become just another version of selling hope, except this time through casinos instead of products. People chasing that lifestyle may burn through their own savings, thinking they can be like him. What makes Vegas Matt so fascinating is that he doesn't fit neatly into one box. He isn't a clear villain, but he isn't a clean hero either. He lives in the gray zone. He has charisma that makes him likable, but a past that makes him questionable. He is both a salesman and an entertainer, both a hustler and a family man. Every time he uploads a new video, the audience is pulled back into the same question. Is he truly lucky, or is he just playing another role in a long line of hustles? And every time, people choose to watch. Because in the end, flawed characters are often more captivating than perfect ones. Vegas Matt represents something very American: reinvention. A person can fail, face controversy, even be accused of scamming, and still rebrand into something new. Las Vegas itself is built on the same idea: a city of illusions, of lights covering shadows, of reinvention on every corner. He is Las Vegas in human form. Loud, risky, magnetic, and full of contradictions. A man with skeletons in the closet who still manages to stand in the spotlight and make people cheer. The dark truth about Vegas Matt isn't just about alleged MLMs or gambling. It's about how someone can turn flaws into entertainment. It's about how charm can cover scars, how reinvention can blur the past, and how audiences sometimes prefer a flawed but fascinating character over a boring but clean one. He built an empire of hope, first by selling it, now by spinning it. Whether you see him as a fraudster turned family man or just a guy living large in Vegas, he remains unforgettable. Love him or hate him, people keep watching. And maybe, just maybe, that's his biggest win of all. Because when the next reel stops spinning, everyone wants to see what happens next.